The weather is so beautiful that I actually want to wear them outside today, so I decided to show them to you before I actually do so, before I wear them. The reasoning why I bought them, they were on sale. Paid $100 for these. It was a crazy sale. The other reason why I bought them, the looks. They're strange looking shoes. However, I really like this look. As a matter of fact, I've been out and about in the city and I've been standing on the sidewalk, and there was a guy standing next to me staring directly at my shoes like for maybe like a minute, and that proves that they look a little bit, you know, different than your typical shoes. So one of the major selling points for these shoes is the Hydromax. So we'll see how it works out, whether your feet keep dry in them. So I don't fully know what this means, because I owned a few Gore-Tex shoes, and Gore-Tex is advertised as amazing technology, but not always does it work as expected. So sometimes you do get leaks in your shoes. So we'll see how this one works. The heel so far is the looks. I will see whether it does have any functional reason to be this way and whether it actually works, whether it helps. Probably it does. The heel support should be good in these, but we'll see. And another feature, not like a feature but a specification of the shoes, they are leather shoes. So they are mostly made of leather and rubber. The leather is hard, so it feels very hard, so it's yak leather, not just typical leather. So this one is more like heavy duty leather, more something like the leather that's used for the construction shoes. So they definitely feel a little bit stiff, especially on that side where the grommets are. My expectations are high because these shoes are expensive. The sole seems to be very durable. We'll see how it holds up, and the fit is nice. However, they run a little bit narrow, so if you have very wide feet, may not be good for you. And also, they are not as warm as the winter shoes, but they are not as cold as summer shoes. So I expect them to be good demi season, like maybe autumn spring season shoes, which it is now. So now it's spring, it's kind of hot today, but it's already too hot for my winter shoes, so I decided to take these. Let's take them out, and after a few months I'll tell you the actual feeling I get in them and whether they are worth the money. Let's do it. So I took them out. The first impression, guys, they feel exactly what they look like. Neither boots, neither sneakers, something in between. Very light for the size and for the looks. And the thing I like a lot is the sole, actually. Sole very jumpy. It feels like medium softness, not very soft but not too hard either. Looks like they attract dirt easily, so I just make a couple 100 meters and already, so yeah, black shoes, not good for bad weather like this terrain for sure. And another thing about the sole, it feels very stable, probably due to the construction, the way it is. It feels very stable. I wouldn't use them as running shoes, but your feet keep very firm on the ground for sure. The grip, it's awesome actually. Probably because of this shape here, the grip is outstanding. But so far, there is one thing I don't really enjoy about the shoes. It may be a problem in future. It may be, so I'll show it to you. As much as I like these shoes, remember how I told you the way they are, that a little bit narrow. My feet are not very wide, but they are medium, so I do feel tension. I do feel tension here. So they definitely feel a little bit stiff, especially on that side where the grommets are. So those iron grommets, they kind of eat into your feet right now. So let's see whether it works out. Let's see whether they break in. I hope they do. But so far they do not fit like, you know, like typical shoes I used to have, like hike shoes. You wear them and you forget you have them on your feet. This is different. I definitely feel tension. It's not entirely snug as much as I would like it to be. Yeah, these grommets, these are painful. And it's not about the size either, because this is the length and I still have one finger here, so it's not the length. The length is fine. This is my size. But let's see, right? Let's see, maybe they break in, maybe they come better. In a couple months I'll shoot a follow-up to this video and we'll do the proper evaluation after that. tell you what, it's raining now hard. So right now it's a little bit better so I can shoot the video, but it was raining hard. And the thing I like about these shoes, they seem to be perfect for the rain. So that's nice. For the wet weather seems really good. So far they've been good for the dry weather, mostly good. Oh, it's raining again. Yeah, but for the rain, exceptionally good, I'd say, so far. Okay, so apparently not as good as I expected them to be. I took them off and I see these wet spots on my feet. Maybe that's because I loosened them up quite a lot to make them a little bit not as snug. But yeah, they are not waterproof, definitely. Okay guys, so it's day number 5 and I have a few updates for you. These shoes are attractive. Apparently that's why they attract so much dirt and dust. I haven't cleaned them yet, it's day number 5. But yeah, they're so black that all the dust, all the dirt is very visible. That's the weather I'm dealing with. There's a little bit snow around, not much, it's -2 Celsius. So, but -2 is still cold. And if I was to take some kind of sneakers or maybe my white Ecco shoes, you may see the review of those shoes on this channel, which are just typical regular sneakers, that would be cold. So these shoes feel totally fine, and I think even up to -10 they would be just perfect. They're not winter shoes, they are not like boots, but for the demi season, perfect. But there's another thing, guys, I wanted to discuss. Remember the way I told you about how narrow they are? Well, that turned out to be a big deal. I had to loosen the lace as much as possible actually, to make them at least usable for me. Maybe my feet are wide, I don't know, maybe they are too high, but that turned out to be a problem. So after I loosened this up, the pain from this Grommets is less, but not as I would like it to be. It still hurts. This stuff still hurts on both shoes. But anyway, yeah, I loosened them up and I hope this is leather. I hope they will be a little bit loose in the end after I break them in. The pain is not as crucial as it used to be on the first day, but still it's present. So that's a big deal for guys who have wide feet. Yeah, take that into account. And of course, if you loosen them up the way I did, there is much higher chances the water will get into these holes or snow or something like that, or even the cold. Yeah, they are less warm if you loosen them up that much, so that's something to consider as well. So generally I feel totally comfortable using them here on snow, probably off-road too. However, I wouldn't like to use them off-road since they're so expensive and I don't think they will last. How's it going, Liz?
Nice.
So it's day number 15. I decided not to clean the shoes and to show you the way they look not cleaned. They are dusty, bad, but not too bad. We can actually use them. I will show you the way they look after I clean them. And this is the way they look now. I did not clean them for a very long time. I took a rag and I just wiped them, a wet rag. And the initial problem, the sole, it has ridges. So unless you're using a brush or something like that, it will not be easy to clean. So if you take a wet paper towel, you'll see patches of clean and you'll see patches of dirt, because without a brush, they're not that easy to clean. They're not that difficult to clean either, but I would say medium, yeah? You need to spend some time cleaning them. It's been a month since I'm using these shoes and I still feel the pain here. So this looks like to be a problem of this design, because the shoes are now a bit more loose, they are broken in, everything seems well. However, I still feel the pain here, so I think it's here to stay with me. So yeah, if you have wide feet or maybe you have high feet, you know, like when your feet are not I don't know how to describe it, but if your feet go like this, you will feel the pain here. So pay very close attention to this, because this stuff is iron. You cannot change it. If you put something under it, you will even exacerbate the problem, so you'll make the problem even worse. So yeah, something to consider. Okay guys, they did break in about a month of suffering. Month and a half maybe, yeah, it's been a while, and they broke in totally fine now, so no problems with grommets. So yeah, everything is fine. This is the type of weather I'm dealing with. It looks calm, but it's actually cold. So it's kind of cold, so it's not yet good for sneakers, but still totally fine for these shoes. Yeah, so perfect use case for them. Let me tell you what, for some reason in these shoes your feet get smelly. Like, you know, all feet get smelly, that's fine, but especially in these shoes, I don't know why, I don't know what's the reason. They're enclosed shoes, but I have a lot of enclosed shoes like these, and not all of them smell the same. These smell exceptionally bad, so it has to be something with the material. So yeah, that's something to consider. So I own like hike shoes, I own some military shoes, all of them are leather, all of them are enclosed, and they're much older. These are new, and these smell very, I mean, not like synthetic smell, but smell of feet, you know. So yeah, I don't know why. Like, I wash my feet, right? But something is wrong with the material, I guess. Maybe with the inline, I don't know. These shoes are awesome, I like them. However, they are nothing like professional or military grade shoes or hiking shoes. That's a different story, right? So these shoes are primarily the street shoes, the city shoes, to use inside of cities, and they look nice. However, if you want something reliable, if you want something serious, get something like Loa or Hikes. Don't get these shoes. However, if you need something that looks nice, if you want something fancy schmancy, you want to impress somebody, this is a good choice. As a general purpose all-around shoes for city conditions, for streets, for regular pavements, these are awesome. You don't need some excessive shoes like I've already mentioned, like professional or military grade shoes or hiking shoes. You don't want to use that in the cities, taking that to work. But these look slick. They look small enough, and yeah, totally usable for those type of conditions. However, they are not as stealthy. They are still big. You see the way the sole is, so they still resemble boots, but not as much as other shoes. For example, you're in a city, you're going to your office, for example, somewhere there. You need something slick, you need something nice. You don't need the excess of big boots, but you still need something warm. That's the perfect use case for this type of shoes.